What's up, guys? We are back again with my good friend Wayne Capilli. He's going to be assisting me. Actually, we're going to be assisting each other on just some edits for some Twilight photos that we did. And like we did previously in the other video, it's going to be another fun, nice little edit with just having somebody there to kind of bounce ideas off of and kind of be there, so we're not just doing this alone.
You know, when I teach with Fraser, we go through dusk shots, and I realized as we're teaching that Fraser shoots a little differently than I do when I do dusk shots. So as we shoot differently, we actually process our files differently. So I wanted to get Fraser's input on while I'm post-processing some dusk shots, and I'm going to kind of look over Fraser's shoulder when he does his dusk shots. So here we go.
All right, let's get to it. So this was, if you remember, our workshop home we had last November for the PMRE conference. This was the Twilight. Actually, I think this was when I got to come back by myself to shoot this house. So if there's obviously nobody here, the workshop, it was filled with so many photographers. It was hard to get shots, but I got lucky. I was able to come back. So anyway, this is my Twilight shot here, which I'm pretty much just trying to capture this scene of the fireplace area and then showing the pool area and connection to the home itself. So
what are you basing your exposure on? What are you exposing for in this shot?
So pretty much when I do my Twilights, especially when there's good lighting and I don't need to add additional supplemental lighting, I'm focusing on, I'm exposing on the area that I want to make sure I have enough detail information on. And because I want to highlight the seating area, and I also want to make sure that the flames in this fire pit are not going to blow out, my exposure is based off of that. Because also that I am shooting raw, I know within the other brackets that I have, I'll have more than enough information to get detail back there in that grill area and lift up shadows and things like that. But as long as I know that off the bat, my focus point and my exposure is based off of this fire pit right here, everything else will work out once I put this whole thing together. As far as the way I do it is, once I've established that that's what I'm going to do for my focus point and exposure, I grab my 5 brackets, and I think my go-to here is f8, ISO 250, and for this one I was at aperture priority and 60 millimeters, so just a wide shot capturing this whole scene. So I got my brackets here, and then all the way to a bright bracket. So see here, if I want, I have plenty of information to bring back the detail in the shadow areas. But
so are you going to be using brackets on your in your post processing right now?
I am, but you'll see what I'm going to do with it. So what I like to typically do is, instead of working with just one raw image, what happens is for Twilights, I noticed that when you start opening shadows and stuff, you start to get and see grain in all those shadow areas, which I don't like. So what I do is I take those 5 brackets, merge them together. So pretty much I'd select the 5, right click, photo merge, HDR. And what that does is it takes all that information and makes a big super raw file. And then if you notice, this is the image right here. And it looks just like the first image in my raw file, but what you don't see is all that other information is in there. So now what I'm able to do is I can push and pull this one image and build this whole thing up to what looks good to me. And I don't have to worry about sacrificing quality of, pixelation and grain and all that kind of stuff.
As I'm looking at your histogram, are you turning on the HDR feature on the histogram in Lightroom?
No. I don't think I've ever even used that. I've messed with it before, and it's weird the way that works. I'm sure you know I'm sure you know the science behind it, but no, I don't even touch that.
Okay.
I just use the HDR merge, and what that does is it gives me a high dynamic range raw file. So it gives me highlight and shadow information that I can push and pull. So yeah, I guess let's get to this one. Pretty much first off, let's just go ahead and, since I know I'm going to be keeping this, I'm just going to start off with, let's level this out. Let's go here. We're going to use a horizontal line here to level the bottom.
Oh, since your files are already merged together, now you're going to do the straightening at the beginning.
Yeah, just because it's already, I don't need to worry about blending in Photoshop. I'm not even going to go into Photoshop with this. This is all going to be just done in Lightroom.
Okay.
So I can go ahead and just do all my alignment now. That way, if I feel like cropping and stuff, I can get that out of the way now. But I don't know. I think this is kind of cool. I don't know if I even want to crop. It gives me maybe I can bring in the top in a little bit more. Maybe I can do something like this.
Try a square. I think this works as a square.
Square? Let's see. Let's go square one by one. No, because we're cutting off the interior. I want to see that interior. Let's try.
We'll move it over.
No, but I also want to see the seating area here. I think that's important information. Let's try 16 by 9. Let's see what that does. Oops, wrong way. Let's do this. And then we'll go 16 by 9. And
it's not bad.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. The excess blue.
Yeah, we don't need so much sky there. I think this is good. All right, so then once that's done, now let me take a look at white balance. I'm just gonna, as a whole scene, I'm just gonna click auto, see what that does. Okay, that's not bad. It's giving me some warmth. Let's see if I dial it back a little bit. I'm just eyeballing it. I know there's a lot of yellows in the interiors and the stairs here, but I can address that individually. I just want to see as a whole just what the warmth and temperature is of everything else. I think that's okay as far as just starting off. Let's drop highlights down, open up shadows a bit, and then let's raise up the exposure. Add some blacks to add some contrast, a little bit of clarity.
Now, do you ever use haze at this situation?
I wouldn't use haze. I think it's pretty clean. It doesn't look hazy to me.
Oh no, the haze takes out the kind of the kind of highlights in the shadow areas, in the transition areas.
Let's see. Yeah, but see, it's. I feel like it's making the image look dirty. I don't like that. Maybe I can use a brush and just use haze selectively and do it that way.
Okay.
All right, so that's okay there. Let's see here. I'm just looking at the right side here is kind of bright, so I'm gonna just grab a linear gradient and I'm just going to do something like this. I'm gonna just dial that back just a little bit. Now let's see about addressing the yellows here. Let's go color range. Just gonna make a sample of this area here. And let's try dropping saturation and also cooling it off a little bit. Maybe something like that. And then I'll do our favorite little tool, intersect mask with brush, so I can just only select and paint that areas that I want to make those changes to. So we'll do this area here.
So the mask that you use is that are you just using the gradient and then selecting the color and then brushing it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe these staircases here a little bit too yellow. Can dial that back a bit.
And they're really bright.
Yeah, they are bright. Which I can select that and target that. We'll get these staircases here. Maybe some of this over here. I think the yellow on the bushes back there, that looks good.
Yeah.
All right, that looks cool. Okay, let's take a look at the blues now. Let's see. Let's try to go here. Let's go to mask, and we're going to see if we can just select the house. Let's go to landscape, and let's see if it'll give us the ability to actually create a mask for the house itself. Here we go. Sky, architecture, water, artificial ground. Okay, here we go. Create separate mask, and then create mask. Perfect. That way now I have full control. So let's go to the sky. Let's go ahead and add some saturation to that a little bit. Something like that. That's kind of cool. What else we got here? Architecture. Let's see if we can drop saturation on that so we don't got too much blues on there, and tones down some of those yellows too. Maybe add some blacks a little bit. Nah. Okay. Let's go to water. I think we can raise the whites on there, make it a little bright, so we can really see those pool lights shining. So I'm just raising the whites on there. Something like that. That's cool. Artificial ground. All right, let's see. What if we raise the exposure a little bit just to get some more detail? Yeah, that's cool. And then let's go ahead and make a mask. We go luminance range. And I just want to target the luminance on these steps right here. So I'm just going to sample that. And I'm just going to go with the highlights and just try to drop it down a little bit just to get some more detail. That's okay. And then we'll do the same thing, intersect mask with brush. And I'm just going to brush that in. Good.
So I think the lesson, if anybody gets anything out of any of these things that we do, please use the brush.
Yeah. I can even use that to bring back the detail here. Actually, we'll target the fireplace later. That's a little bit too. We'll do that a little bit after. Okay, that's looking all right. Let's go ahead and target that back area. I'm going to use an oval radial gradient, and I'm just going to make a selection kind of like this, and just raise that up a little bit, just so we get some information. That's good. Nothing too crazy. All right, how are we looking? That's looking all right. If I wanted more blue in that sky, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go here. Instead of using saturation, I'll go backwards on the temperature slider, and I'll just kind of see that. It kind of gives you a more filling sky blue. Instead, you don't get so much of the white. So maybe we'll do something there. Man, this is still really bright.
Now, is that white? Is that halo by the building? Is that because of the mask selection? Because I'm seeing like a vignette, a lighter vignette around the edges in the house.
Let's see here. Hold on, let me just try to dial this back a little bit. Just okay. Where were you saying?
So on the halo? Yeah, there's a slight halo by the top of the building, and then it goes dark, and then it goes lighter again as it goes away from the left side.
Like over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because of the sunset. It's white, and I think that's why I try to do this thing with the sky so that we don't get too much.
But what I'm looking at again is the other side, is the left side. It goes from, I understand that, and then it gets darker, and then as it goes off to the left,
you're talking about here?
No, up in the upper left-hand corner.
Here?
Right here. Yeah. So that blue is the same value as the other side blue. So if the sun was coming from that way, that would be darker on that corner.
Interesting. So let's see. Let me go back to my.
Can you see it? So there's like a.
Yeah, I do see it. So what I'll do, and I don't know why that's actually happening, but what I can do is, just to make it easy, I'm just gonna go here, linear gradient. I'm gonna do this, and I'll dial the exposure on that so it matches. So it should be dark.
Right. Yeah. That to me, yeah. That now it actually gets darker on that side, and it's illogical.
Yep. And then what we'll do is we'll only address the sky. So then we'll do intersect mask with select sky. So that way it's only doing that to the sky, and it doesn't
that is so cool. I mean, essentially, when you're using the intersect mask, you have all these things that you don't have to use the paintbrush or make masks. It will select out the areas that you want, affected.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the best thing about it. All right. So now moving forward, let's. I think that's looking pretty good so far. I'm kind of liking what I see here. Just kind of getting a general overview here. I want to see about bringing back the detail here. So let's go ahead and try to make a selection for the fireplace or fire pit. We'll do luminance range as well. And let's see if we can bring back the detail in that flame. And we'll go with the highlights. We'll drop that down. Yeah, that's not bad. Something like that.
Can you zoom in? Zoom in on the flame a little bit?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just do the intersect mask. So I'm just affecting that fireplace.
Yeah, there's a little discoloration on the marble on the flame. See the pink? See the down on the marble?
Here?
Yeah, it's pink.
Yeah.
It's kind of pinkish.
Yeah, so let's start targeting now some of the blues. So what I want to do real quick is I'm going to just go to saturation here into the entire composition. So yeah, we got blues here, some blues here. Yeah, so what I'll do is dial that back. I'm gonna go here and go color range. And let's find something that's clearly blue. Obviously the water, but we don't want just the water. Like I know there's some blues here. Yeah, that's good. Then let's take the saturation. We'll dial that back. Maybe add some warmth to it. Yep, something like that. And then we'll do the same thing. Love that tool. Intersect mask with brush. And then we'll just go ahead and paint all the areas that we saw that blue. Something like that. Just being really wide with it. Even the house, I think I had some blue on there.
Yeah. Now the thing is, as you're doing this judiciously, I would actually leave the blue. You didn't touch the house next door, but I wouldn't color correct the house next door.
Yeah, we can leave that. That way the attention is just on our main house here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's not looking bad at all. I think I'm okay with that. The only thing here I do notice is it's really bright here in the foreground compared to the rest of the scene. So maybe we'll just do a linear gradient, and we'll just kind of go from here to here and kind of balance that a little bit better. Maybe something like that. Just
I would try going a linear gradient from the corner.
Oh, from the corner. Let's see. Oh, like from the corner of the house?
No, from the bottom right hand corner, because it's really not. It really is just light where the steps is in that little bottom right hand corner.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe like this.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Yeah, that's cool. That makes a difference. And same thing, if I really only want to affect that area and not touch the house, I'll just do the same thing, intersect master brush, and make that nice and big, and just paint just right here.
Very cool.
Oh wait, did it even do it? No, it didn't. Intersect mask with brush. There we go. Wait, is it doing it? It's not doing it. Oh yeah, I did do it. Sorry. Let's delete this one. It was just not really obvious. Delete mask 2. Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah, so there we go. So then
so now that you've actually done this all in Lightroom, you're gonna bring it into Photoshop?
No, but you know what? If I wanted to be anal, there is something I would do. So watch this. I'm gonna open this up. All these other layers. I'm gonna apply everything we just did to all these layers. Oh, come on. Here we go. Sync. Check all. and hit synchronize, and you're gonna see why in a second. So this is done. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look back here, and I'm gonna look for a bracket that gives me information in that flame. And all I care about is the flame. I don't care about nothing else. So yeah, see how clean that flame is here?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for that. Let's see, what's the next one give me? Yeah, even that one's good. But I think this the first one was the best one.
Yeah, that one looks like it's getting out of control.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just raise these values up to kind of match a little bit as close as we can. The other one, not too much, because I want that detail on that flame. Just get something close. Shadows. Turn the whites down. All right, let's just say that's what we like. So then I'm going to take this layer and this layer. Right click, edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. Perfect. So let's drop this layer underneath. This layer, the one that we want to bring in, we're going to put a black mask on it so it's invisible. Grab our brush tool, and then we're just going to pin just that flame. Now it's going to look weird because it's dark, but we're going to fix that in a second. Just want to brush that in. Good. And then now I'm just going to go here, grab my curves, attach it to that layer underneath it so it only affects that layer. And I'm just going to raise the value of that. So the blacks are kind of getting removed and it kind of blends in here. So if we take that off and on, you see we get a little bit of a better looking flame.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think you need to get rid of the pink that's in the foreground.
Yeah, and I could do that here. Just want to see if I... All right, so let's target that pink. We might as well do it just in Photoshop. Hue saturation, grab that, and we'll just come here and take that down. Something like that. Take a black mask, and we're just gonna paint to clean up some of that pink. Yeah, how's that look?
It looks good. You know, the coloration on the seats behind the flame.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it, but it I mean, maybe if you put a little bit of orange or something on that instead of pink.
Well, I took it out. Like if this is before, you see a lot more of that.
Yeah,
And
but that's what I mean. I think that there should be color there because of the.
Oh, you're saying add some color. Gotcha. All right, so
Yeah.
then I'll just add a little bit of it back in. So we'll just do, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
good
that
enough.
actually that
It should have color there.
It should have color there.
Yeah. All right, so then that's it there. Let's see. Since I'm here, I'll do my favorite little trick. Let's add a curves. How's my Photoshop think the exposure needs to be? Nope, I don't like that. Let's go ahead and do our linear contrast to add a little bit of micro contrast. How does that look? No, I don't like that. Looks too dirty. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and save this. And then that'll come back into Lightroom and that'll be it. We'll be done. All right, that's saved. Go back into Lightroom. And there we go. There's our final image.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think it turned out good. Pretty simple. Using, obviously you can see the power of the masking tools in Lightroom allows you to do so much stuff without needing to do, in Photoshop pen selections and all this crazy stuff. You can do wide things and get some nice results.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Wayne,
Cool.
let's take a look at your stuff.
Okay.
Now, looking back at this file after stepping away from the computer for a little bit, I noticed it's a little bit too bright. So sometimes that's something that I do when I'm delivering things for clients, is just taking a day or some time away from the computer to kind of bring a fresh set of eyes in to see the scene. And coming back to this, I can see it's just a bit too bright, and that foreground I don't like it. It's not allowing me to flow through the image. So first off, let's go ahead and dial the exposure. It's a little bit too bright. Let's just take it back a little bit. We'll go to, let's see here. Yeah, -20. I think that works out okay. And then let's attack this little foreground seating area here with the fire pit. Let's grab our mask, and we will go linear gradient. And I just want to hit this up right here. I just want some darkness in the foreground. So that feels way better. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Just, it keeps my eye from staying here. I mean, yeah, of course the focal point is the fire pit, but I still want you to flow through the image. So what else here? Do I see anything else here I want to address? Let's go back here to our color range. We will come back in here. Let's see if we want to dial that back a little bit too. Let's try temperature, just a little bit cooler. Now let's try saturation. Yeah, just a little bit, nothing major, something like that. Same thing like before, intersect mask with brush, and we will just paint this little area here. Something like that. Let's go with color range again. We will go and pick out this coloring here. Let's do the same thing with that. Let's dial that back a little bit so it's not so crazy yellow. Yeah, that's better. A little subtle touch of color. Intersect mask with brush, and we'll just paint that in. Something like that. Yeah, that looks great. Much better. I really wish we can address these. Let's see if there's any way we can still like dial some of that highlight on these steps. Let's go to luminance range. Just gonna pick that area there. Highlights. Dial that back. Just so we get some information. It's not bad. And we'll brush that in. Something like that. Yeah, so a couple little changes here to just help fix the final edit on this image, and I think that makes a really big difference. Dialing it back, cleaning up the color and that foreground helps to let the eye flow through this image better and not get stuck in different areas. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right.
So this is a house in Carmel Valley, and so when we're talking about framing, first we needed to, kind of get how I want this picture taken. And this is actually obviously a living room that overlooks the valley. And it actually kind of sees that, but what I needed to do was fly the drone up just a little bit. So
this is a drone shot. Interesting.
Yeah, this is a drone shot. So that's what I mean. So intent wise, I needed to show that this was a living room that has a valley view, but yes, it's kind of clear, but just raising it up, lets me know that yes, it goes beyond the rails and stuff like that. So
is that water?
No.
Is that a river or something? Or no?
That's just.
Oh.
So that's what I mean. So, and also, when I go up a little bit, I actually see the seating area. There's a lot more things that I got to see just by raising it up, and it really just changes the mood on what we're trying to show. This is like walking up, and this is not a bad picture. This is like walking up saying, okay, we have the shot, but this is a picture that informs the viewer that this view, there is a view outside there, and it goes not just across but down, and I get to see the seating area.
Go to the previous one real quick. Yeah, even the living room, like you get to see the flooring there a little bit more and stuff. A lot more information. Yeah, it's a slight little height adjustment, but it makes a big difference.
Okay, now this is really kind of cool. Look at the living room, and this actually has a high ceiling, And as we are, looking directly at it, the proportions are correct. But as we go up and are kind of looking down, it actually makes the room look longer.
Yeah.
So there's all these little aspect things when when you're setting up the shot. What are you trying to show? What is the subject? And the subject is, yes, it's the living room, but it really is, we're trying to sell, like what we try to say is we're trying to sell the views. So so I'm showing more of the living space. Now I can see the sitting area with the flame, and now we have to post process this.
Let's see you work your magic.
Okay, so we're going to.
So I know you love using Bridge, like whereas I use Lightroom, your go-to is Bridge, and I think you said the reason why is with Bridge you don't have to create catalogs and stuff. You can just work off the individual raw files, right?
Yeah, and what's really also interesting especially with something like Bridge, see this thing. This is the actual raw file, and it's 48 megs.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're working with computers and having a lot of layers and things like that, I can go in and say, you know what, I don't need that big of a file. So I'm going to resize the file so it's 6,000 by 6,000. So it's now a 27 megapixel file instead of a 48 megapixel file.
Interesting.
Which means that now this file is much lighter to work with in the computer. So as I'm doing multiple like files and things like that, or layers, it's just a much lighter file.
Very cool. Because
remember, when you add a layer in Photoshop, it takes whatever your megapixel is, it will take 5 times that size of hard disk space.
Yeah.
So when you're using bigger files, if you wonder why your computer is all clogged up, it's like, well, you're handling these 48 megapixel files, and you have 8 layers, 10 layers. That's a lot of hard drive, and that's a lot of access that your computer has to go to.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so now that I have the composition, I really kind of want to look at how the light is in this scene. So I will change it to monochrome. And monochrome gives me where the light's coming from, what the light values are. And immediately I can see that the interior is really, really bright. So we're going to go back to color. See what happens when you are judging exposure. The mere fact that color is there, it doesn't look that bright comparatively to the rest of the scene. So I'm going to go monochrome. And what I need to do is the sky, I guess, is okay. But we really need to attack the living room. But again, all the way around it, these areas, like over on the left hand side, there's some detail there, but like we normally do, is we're going to bring the highlights down a little bit, and we're going to bring the shadows up. And I like to bring the blacks. So this is just basic stuff. And then while I'm here, I'm going to do my first mask, and I'm just going to do the sky.
Which very similar to features you get in Lightroom as well. So that's cool.
No, that's the thing. These are the same. These are the same exact controls as Lightroom.
Nice.
So we're just going to bring that down. So see, the sky was here. I just want it so the sky is not the feature in this. And then now it just becomes really apparent that the living room is just, it needs attention. So I'm going to do a luminance mask inside, and we're going to kind of cut it down a little bit. And I'm going to, not exposure, I'm just going to do the highlights.
Yep.
And like Fraser said, what I'm now going to do is, it selected all the layers, that all the gray values in the scene, but I only want to affect just the living room. So I'm going to use intersect mask with brush. And I'm just going to go in here and just say, I just want this area affected.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference. See, now as we're looking at the scene, as a black and white image, it actually looks pretty good. So we're looking at the composition, we're looking how all the trees and everything work, and now we're just going to bring back the color of the scene, and we're going to use Adobe Standard, and there we have it. Now this is actually pretty good. As we did all these corrections with the luminance values, this really looks a little it killed the contrast, but everything's under control.
Yeah,
So,
it gives you like a neutral playing field now. Now you can kind of say like, hey, I want the attention to go to the interior of the home, and you can raise that up if you wanted to, or the fire pit or whatever, right? Like you can kind of determine where you want the eye to go.
yeah, and so now that I'm looking, I'm gonna go, you know what? This mask, we can turn on the masks again. Okay, we're going to do, I'm gonna blue up the sky.
Nice.
Then for this, okay, so we're looking at the color inside the living room. So again, color is made up of highlights, saturation, and luminance. Highlights is the name of the color, saturation is the amount of color, and luminance is how bright it is.
Yep.
So from here, I want to brighten it up just a little.
I like it.
Now the reason why I do this in color correcting is when you're color correcting, you get the exposure first, and then you actually do the fine tuning of the color.
Yeah.
Because if you do the color, you tend to be going back and forth because, as you saw when we took the color out, color kind of changes the way you see the luminance.
Right.
And now here, I'm just going to clean up just a little bit. So I want to leave a little bit of the color there. And that we're almost there. So the next thing I want to do is I just want to, let's see what this, oh, sorry. Lighten it up just a little. And then I'm going to use this bottom left-hand corner. It just needs just a little bit of life in it. So I'm going to do a gradient mask. Linear gradient, and just cut across here. And then I'm going to open up the exposure a little bit. What do you think, Fraser? The bottom right-hand corner, I mean, do you think that I should color correct? There's a little bit of like yellow there.
I do see the yellow. I would say maybe I'm looking at the left too, and just because you got also that spotlight there, right? So, because then you're gonna have to address that spotlight too. Actually, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's not like it's too competing. It's a little bit yellow. If you were gonna take it off, just a hair maybe, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal.
Okay, so let's.
But you would do it selectively, right? With just the with the brush.
You're,
like
or,
right
here,
now,
or just with color, you can just do that.
But see, now I like the warmth inside the living room. I don't want to affect that. So that's what I'm saying. If you do selectively with the brush, you can control where you want that effect.
Yeah, so let's do color range here.
Mm-hmm.
Refine. Now, would you use saturation or would you actually change the color temperature?
I think, yeah, just dial the saturation back a little bit. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's so minor. Either one's will be fine, and then just brush it in to those areas.
Yep. And then we'll use the intersect brush and just the brush. I just want this area and this. And we're almost there. I think this needs just a little bit of saturation. Color. What do you think?
Yeah. Try one last thing. Go to your vignette and let's just try to put a little vignette so the eye goes straight to the center of this frame.
Oh, how about this? Oh, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to open this. Okay. So one of the things about this particular shot is, we have the living room and we have these really big windows and we have light coming out from the window where it should be. When it should be more, what's the word? Apparent that there's light coming from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to use a filter from Skylum Software, which is Luminar Neo.
For those who don't know about this program, get ready for your mind to be blown. This is crazy.
So I'm going to use a feature called light depth. And what this does is it takes the scene and it depth maps it. And then you can put light into specific parts of the scene. So
yeah, it pretty much it recognizes the geometry of the entire scene, which allows you to create and add a light source and manipulate the entire scene and keep the shadow falling off and staying within certain areas because of that depth map that it created.
Yeah, so see this light? We can actually put this light wherever we want to.
Yep.
And then so what I want is I just want to look like that there is light coming from the living room off to that seating area.
Yeah, I like it.
And not that much because that's just scary. And then we push Y.
And if I remember right, this is the cool thing about this is it puts it on its own layer. So now you have the ability to brush in and keep the only things you want and get rid of the stuff you don't want.
Yep. I mean, you can do that, and you can actually do this in the Luminar filter. But that's why I copied it.
Yeah.
So that
look at that difference.
And then
look at the light you gave that.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna cut it down like this a little bit, and there it is.
There, man. Take that eyeball off and on. Yeah, just subtle enough information of that light to just help draw your eye to the middle of the frame there. I love it.
Yeah, and also what that does is, you're right. It goes to the middle of the frame. So it actually, and I like the way it lights up the tree back there too, because so you actually have this really nice logical light coming from the living room to the seating area and they open up the tree. So
yeah, nice, man. Great job. That's a great edit.
Thank you. It's a nice house. Thanks, man.
All right. Well, there you have it. 2 little edits from myself and Wayne on Twilight photos. I hope you guys enjoyed that and got some information out of it. Stay with us as we continue these type of videos. We'll be putting together a bunch of these moving forward in 2026. I think it's fun just having somebody there on your shoulder to kind of give you a second opinion and help you to see things that you didn't see. I love it. So I'm looking forward to our next one.
Yeah, and if you got anything out of this, out of the way we do things, is the what's the name of the brush?
Intersect mask with.
intersect brush in masks. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a powerful tool. I'm sure if you haven't been using it, you're probably going to be using it or trying to use it. You'll see the power of what it does. So anyway, guys.
Also Skylum Neo. So yeah.
Yeah. Skyloom. Yeah, definitely get that. That's just one thing that thing does. It does a whole bunch of other things, but just for what you saw there, it's really, really powerful. It's a fun tool to play with. All right, guys, and thanks, Wayne. Again, another fun video to work with you on. We'll see you on the next one.
Okay, go get a computer.
Bye, guys.
Bye.